Hello everybody, welcome back to Learning Biology 14.3. So finally, in this section, we're getting to the core of this chapter. So in this chapter, we're going to learn about the seed germination. So in chapter 12, we'll learn about how seeds are formed. Alright, but that is not enough, because in chapter 14, we're going to learn about how they grow and how they develop. Alright, so first of all, it starts from a seed. The seed will germinate. So a very easy question to you, when will it germinate? So it will germinate when the condition becomes favorable. Alright, so before we learn about how they actually grow from a seed to a plant, we need to learn about the structure of it first. Okay, so as you may guess, this part will be part of your dictation. Okay, so please look at it yourself. And we're going to learn most of the examples will be from a dicotyledonous plant. That means they are dicots. 佢哋雙子葉嚟嘅. Alright, they are dicots. So first of all, looking at a seed, there are three external structures you should know. And of course, this one will test you, like from which structure of the plant does the seed come from? Okay, and so as the different structures. Like for example, the seed coat, if you know well about the chapter 12, you will know that it comes from, you can check back on chapter 12. Alright? And so as the following. Okay, so for example, where does the seed come from? Does it come from the ovary? Or does it come from the embryo or ovum? Okay, so be careful about that. So first of all, about the external structure, just carefully, speak it after me. Seed coat, micropyle, hilum. So seed coats, you know that, alright? So it's a very tough layer for a seed. It is protecting it. The micropyle is small hole, and earlier it is for the male gamete to get into the female gamete. But now it is mainly for the entry of water. Lastly, the hilum is basically useless. It's just a scar. And then when we talk about the internal structure, we need to know these four structures. Alright? First of all, so this is the inside of the seed. The first one, we start from the top. This one is the plumule that will develop into the shoots. That means the leaves. And then in the middle, you will see this hypocotyle. This one will bring the plumule up. Okay? It will lift the cotyledons up. Okay? And inside the cotyledon, it will close the door, and as you can see, so these are the two cotyledon, right? So it is actually mostly protecting the plumule. Alright? So when it gets above the soil, you will first see the two cotyledons. And after the cotyledons fall off, you will start seeing the plumule. Alright? But don't worry, we'll talk about this in the next page. And then the last one will be about these three structures. The last one will be the radicle. The radicle will be developed into roots. And of course, the two very important structures, these are also the food reserve of the seed. They are called the cotyledon. Alright? So monocotyledon means there is only one of them. And dicotyledon means there are two of them. Okay? So, and then the next part, we're going to talk about the condition. So what does it mean by a favorable condition? What does a seed really need? Alright? So, we'll go to this page. Of course, we'll go through these examples in lesson. Alright? So first of all, you may guess. It would be better if you do the Google form before you watch this video, because one question asks you, like, which of the following is not an essential condition for the seed to germinate? And the answer will be quite easy when you look at this page. But then try to think about it yourself first. We always think that light is very important to plants. Light, so say just like sunlight. Alright? But that is not the only thing. we also need to like beware that it is important for the plant, but is it also important for the seed germination? It may not be, all right? So just go through this very quickly with me. So first of all, what are the essential conditions? The first one will be the very important one, that is the water. Okay, and you need to remember some of the examples inside. Okay, so first of all, water will soften the seed coat. The seed coat is very hard to protect the seed, the plumule seedling inside, right? Okay, so now it will soften the seed coat and make the cotyledon swell. So when it swells, it will break the seed coat and release, or you can just say the radicle can get out. They can emerge. Okay, and then the next one, it will activate the enzyme. These 4 points, try to remember. As you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. So it will activate the enzyme inside the seed. So what enzyme will be in the seed? All right. Because the cotyledon is actually storing food, right? So these enzymes will convert, 即係會掉咗佢哋啦，will convert the insoluble food into soluble food. So what does it mean by insoluble food? Very easy, as you can see here, the starch. Okay, so these enzymes, you should be familiar with their names. The first one is amylase. They will change starch to sugar. And if I ask you what sugar is it, you should be able to answer me. The answer is maltose. All right. And then the next one, it will be protease. So protease is related to protein, and the simpler form is called the amino acid. And then the last one, it will be lipid. Lipid will become fatty acid and glycerol. So as you can see, this will be the very easy summary for your chapter 5 or chapter 6. All right. So what will be the starch or sugar used for? Provide energy, making cellulose, cell walls. And then what will be the amino acid used for is very important. It's like making a lot of new things, right? So it's like providing raw material for making structural components. So for example, like the organelles, like the mitochondria, like the hormones, like the antibodies, so on and so forth. Please put down some of the examples here yourself. Okay, and then lipase. So why do we need lipid? So what will make it lipid? They will make the cell membrane. Okay, and of course, lipid is also a very good energy storage. Okay, so this is the point number 2. It will wake up some enzymes so that it can like work for the seed. And then number 3, it is a reactant. Okay, like in hydrolysis, it is a reactant. So each of these above reactions, you need water to react with the lipid, and then it will hydrolyze, and then it will form these products. All right. And then the last one, it is also a medium for transporting. Okay. So imagine like it may only take place in the cotyledon, but then how does it get to the plumule? How does it get to the radicle? It needs some medium to help it transport the food. All right. So it is transported to the growing region. So these 4 points are the 4 important reasons why do we need water. Okay? And number 2, that is the warmth, just like the temperature. So it will allow the enzyme to work efficiently. Of course, the temperature, if it is too low, like if you put a seed in the refrigerator, that would be not good for the seed to germinate. All right? And some farmers will actually put the seed into the refrigerator for another reason. So I'll talk about that in class. And then the last one will be oxygen. So oxygen is important because they need to carry out respiration, all right? And respiration will give them energy. So as you can see here, I'm telling you the answer. You cannot see light. So somehow light is not important. So here, I would like you to think of one example in your daily life. Why is light not important for seed germination? All right? So, I would like to end this video here, and I will continue with another video, also on 14.3. Okay, so that's all about this video, and I'll see you in next. Bye bye.